Hello everyone. Today I am going to cover up in detailed explanation on this physical layer of OBIW. As you guys already know, physical layer is nothing but a physical replication of whatever the physical database that we are having. Now in today's session, I am going to explain about various different components that are available in OBI's physical layer. Besides importing data from the physical layer, we do have some other functionalities in OBI in physical layer. Okay. So here we are going to cover up all such additional functionalities in our session today. Okay. In order to deal with all these kinds of tables, I have preloaded my database with some dump file called as supplier to dump file, which is a database which would be in the form of dimensions and facts. Okay. It was actually the data that is populated in that schema will be like in the form of dimensions and facts, which will be very comfortable for us to work, and it will be as like a replicate of real-time data warehouse, because in many real-time data warehouse the table design would be in such a model. Okay. In order to do that, yesterday I have imported data from this Scott schema. Today now I am going to import data from that supplier to schema. In order to do that, what I need to do is I need to go to this file, click on this import metadata. Okay, after clicking on this import metadata, as my database is Oracle database, I am going to select this native connection, that is OCI 10G11G. OCI stands for Oracle Call Interface, and I need to provide my credentials over here. My data source name is ORCL, my username is supplier2, and my password is also the same thing, that is supplier2. After clicking on that, I am going to import only tables over here. If we drag it down, we have this supplier to schema over here. In the supplier to schema, we have all these tables present. Okay, I think as we are having many tables over here, it will be very good for us to work on this. From these tables, I am going to import this D1 calendar to D1 customer to. In order to select multiple tables, what I need to do is I need to click on control and I need to select whatever the tables that I desire to import into my physical layer. I have selected this D1 calendar to, D1 customer to, D1 orders to, as well as D1 products. Okay. After clicking on some tables, then I need to click on this import selected. When I click on this import selected, as already we have a connection pool for ORCL over here. Okay, it got created automatically. After that, what we need to do is we need to click on finish. Okay, now we have this supplier to schema over here. Yesterday we have imported this Scott schema, and now we imported this supplier to schema. See what I have done here is I have tried to import from this supplier to schema, and I have provided that credentials. But by default, what it has done is it is getting routed through this Oracle CP connection pool. Okay, it is getting routed through this Oracle CP connection pool, and this Scott schema, whatever the Scott credentials that are present in this connection pool, they are not having access to the supplier to schema. Okay, and that is the reason why we are getting such error. In order to handle such things, it's better to create a new database over here, ORCL, database type Oracle 11G. Click on OK. Okay. Oracle has been already defined here. So Oracle 1. And from this database, I'm going to create new connection pool. For Oracle, it has taken this default connection pool settings. That is, it has taken this default call interface, that is OCI 10G and 11G. And now I'm going to name connection pool as connection pool 2 or CP underscore. I'm going to use this connection pool for supplier 2. I have imported this data for this supplier 2. And I'm going to provide credentials for this supplier 2. Supplier 2. Supplier 2. Now I'm going to click on OK over here. I need to provide it. The error got up because I have not provided this data source name, that is ORCL. Now I need to confirm this supplier 2 password over here. I think I might have provided this password wrong over here. COPPLIR2. Okay. Now everything is ready over here. Now I'm going to import metadata from here. The moment I click on next, I have this supplier 2 schema over here. Now I'm going to import the tables that I have selected before, that is D1 calendar to D1 customers to D1 orders to as well as D1 products. After selecting these tables, I'm going to click on this arrow button, that is import selected button. Now what happens is this schema, it gets the data from this ORCL 1 database, that is nothing but ORCL database only, through connection pool CP underscore supplier 2 connection pool. Okay. Now the error will not get thrown up here. See, now data is getting populated over here. Previously, as we are using the other connection pool for that, we are getting an error. Okay. If you get arised with such scenarios, you need to handle such errors like that. Is this fine? Okay. Now the import part is complete. In OBI, in physical layer, we have a functionality called as alias. Alias is nothing but maintaining a snapshot kind of thing for a particular table. Okay, let us say if I want an alias, in order to create an alias for this calendar 2 table, I will be clicking on new object over here, and for this particular new object I can create an alias, and we can provide a name for this alias. Like if I want to give a naming convention, like for all the dimension tables that I am going to use in my project, I'm providing them with the suffix D1. D. Okay. After D, I'm going to provide this whatever the name of that table, that is D1 calendar, D underscore calendar. Okay. I am clicking on OK. Okay. Now this alias table has been created over here. Actually, in project scenarios, what we are going to do is, yesterday I have shown you guys how to create joins, right? while creating joins, I have created joins directly on these physical tables only. But in as a best practice in project scenarios, as a best practice, it's good to create an alias for each and every table and work on that creating, and it's a best practice to create joins on that alias tables. Why? Because we'll be having many uses with that. The uses are like, if you want to work in a project where they have not designed data model perfectly. Okay, the data warehousing guys, they have not designed data model perfectly, and whereas in they have given you with only one table, and that particular table, in order to pull certain data, we need self join kind of thing. Okay, in such particular table, in order to generate some data, we need self join kind of thing. If we want to work on such scenarios, we need to have a duplicate copy of that table, and we need to join this table A with that. Let us say we have these two tables like table A. We need to join table A to table A only for getting some kind of data, because that they have not designed data model like dimension and fact, and they have provided us with only one table. In order to handle such scenarios, we will be creating duplicate copy of that table, and we will be joining that table with this table. In order to handle such things, this alias concept will be very useful. Okay, for a particular table, we can create many number of aliases. We can create the alias 2 as well. It's not a problem. Okay, and one more functionality of this alias is, let us say, we can't do any modifications to whatever the tables or columns that are present in alias. See, we have this delete option. Everything will get disabled for what are the columns that we have in alias. Alias is nothing but a snapshot. It is just referring to this particular table. This alias, whatever the alias that we are going to create from a particular table, it will be referring to this table only. Okay, we can't do any kind of modifications to properties of table in alias. Whereas if it is corresponding to a physical table, we can do whatever modifications we can do. That is, we can even delete a column also. We can even delete a column, we can rename a column, we can do everything. Let us say, because of some business requirements, our ETL team, they have changed this column name of this particular table. Okay, in order to handle that, what we need to do, we can just rename this particular thing. Or as, let us say, they have changed the data type of this particular column. Okay, they have changed this data type of particular column from double to float. Okay, they have done some changes as per their requirements. During that time, what sometimes, if we are treating some numerical values or as string, if you are treating some string values as numerical, if you are changing the data type, sometimes it's going to impact the displaying part. Okay, in order to handle all such scenarios, we will be doing such modifications. Whatever the changes they send to us, we will be doing such changes over here. But whereas in an alias, we can't do any of such changes. Alias is nothing but it's going to refer the physical table only. Okay, but as a best practice, it's good to create alias for every table, and it's good to create joins on all other things on aliases part. Okay, now I am going to create and I am going to delete this alias too, because we will not be using that. Now I am going to create more aliases for the remaining tables, that is customers. As this is a fact table, I'm giving it with a suffix fact f. Orders for products, I'm going to give it as d underscore products. And one more use of alias is we can give names accordingly as per business names. Instead of database names, we can give business names for aliases as per our requirements, because we can't change names over here. We can't change names for physical tables. For if we change the name for this particular physical table, let us say I'm going to modify the name of this particular physical table. Okay, I have removed that calendar 2 at the end. Okay, I have clicked on enter. It will accept that name, but the moment when I click on this view data, it will throw up an error. Why? Because clearly see that error. What it is? It's referring from d1 underscore calendar, where actually this d1 underscore calendar is not present in database. Okay, we can't change the names of tables here, but whereas in an alias we can provide them with our desired names. Okay, in order to satisfy all such requirements, what we will be doing is we will be using aliases to handle such scenarios. See, now if you click on view data, the data will be available. Why? Because it will be referring all the data from it will be searching. If you change some name, it will be searching the database for that particular name only. I have said you guys previously while importing metadata, that is, we are going to import only metadata information of particular table. Even though the moment when I change the name of this calendar, you can clearly observe that the metadata information will be available there. Even though I click on OK, see that the metadata information will be present. Why? Because this metadata information has already been imported previously into that particular table, but we have changed the name of particular table. After changing the name, what happens here is when we click on view data, it's going to generate a query, that is select all these column names from whatever the table name that we are providing over here. Okay, select all these column names that from this particular table, but actually, as a fact, this whatever the table name that we have changed is not available in the database. So as it is not available in the database, it is throwing up an error. Okay, now we have created aliases for all the corresponding tables. Okay, this is the use of alias concept in OBI. Besides alias, and we do have one more other option called as duplicate. Let us say today I have imported this d1 underscore calendar 2 table from data warehouse, and they have made drastic changes to this d1 underscore calendar to database, and now we need to do modifications for our entire RPD in order to refer all our reports to that particular table. In order to refer all the tables to that particular table, we need to do some structural modifications in our RPD as well, because at the end of the day we need to get data from that physical table only. We can't refer to the whatever the old name that is having that is we do have that name previously in this database. Okay, in order to do that, but we need a reference of whatever the table that we have used previously. Okay, in order to handle that, we need to have a backup copy of whatever the physical table that we are using. Okay, if you are going to do some modifications on this particular table, as data warehousing guys has done some modifications on the database, or whatever we can say it as data warehouse or database. In the data warehouse end, they have done some modifications to a particular table, and we are going to implement that. But we need to have a reference that how it is present previously and how we have created that, create how we are referring to such tables. Or let us say we need to have a structure of that table to maintain as a backup, that is previous structure over here. Okay, in order to handle that, we can create a duplicate. But you can observe here clear, okay, you guys can observe here clearly that this duplicate option is disabled over here. Why this duplicate option is disabled here is, it's, we can say that it's a bug in OBA 11G. Okay, this duplicate option will get disabled the moment whenever we create an alias. The moment whenever we create an alias, this duplicate option will get disabled for any table. Okay, in order to show that to you practically, I'm going to delete this alias. The moment when I click on delete, when I deleted that alias, see now this duplicate option is enabled. Okay, when I click on this duplicate, it will just create a snapshot with this particular hash followed by version, and this table contains only the physical structure only. Okay, because in physically in data, what, let us say, how do I need to put on physically in physical database, this calendar 2 hash 1 table will not be available, and as the data warehousing guys have changed this table as well, this table will also not be available. But we are going to change this table now. Okay, as we are going to change this table, we have created a backup of this framework of this table. Okay, in this table, then what we need to have, we need to have the physical framework in this table event. Okay, let us check whether that physical framework is available here in this table or not. Okay, the moment I click on OK, click on view data, it will throw up an error, but all the metadata structure has been captured from this table. Okay, as we create a duplicate from this table, all the metadata structure has been captured here. Okay, now I am going to create an alias for this. D underscore calendar. But in order to show how this when this duplicate option gets enabled, I have deleted this column. But in real time, we have already created joins for all these alias tables. Okay, we would have previously created joins for this all these alias tables. Okay, and we are going to do some modifications to the physical table. During that time, it's not good to delete this alias, because everything, entire business logic gets disturbed in all the other layers, because as we are disturbing the join, as we are deleting the table, the join get disturbed and everything, entire RPD will get disturbed. That should not be done in a real time. If you are working from the scratch, if it is in the first phase, we can delete and we can create a duplicate, but it's not good, it's completely wrong to delete alias and then create a duplicate. In order to handle that, we do have an option in OBA 11G, that is nothing but copy option. Copy option is nothing but creation of duplicate only. If we copy and if we paste it on that schema, we will get that duplicate. Okay, if duplicate option is disabled, we can bypass that operation through copy and pasting that on the particular schema. Okay, but to be honest, in real-time scenarios, we will never be using this duplicate option as an option that is available in the tool. When you click on right click, the duplicate option will be coming, and sometimes you guys may ask what is the duplicate and all. So in order to cover up what the duplicate is, I have explained about that clearly to you guys. Okay, that is the concept of duplicate. And we do have one more concept in physical layer, that is opaque view. Okay, we do have one more concept in OBI that is called as opaque view. Do you guys have any idea of views in database? Harish, Mahesh, do you people have idea of views, database views, views concept in
No.
database? Okay, a view is nothing but if you are having a table if we are having a table with 40 columns in database, but if you are referring to only let us say particularly 7 tables, we are referring to only 7 tables regularly, and we are not at all bothered about all the other tables in business.
Columns.
In okay, sorry, columns. In business perspective, let us say we are having a table with 40 columns, and we will be using only 4 to 5 columns regularly, and we are very least bothered about such tables. Let us say in this employee table, we I am working in a HR department. I am not bothered about finance details like salary and all, but I need the details of employee, that is his hire date as well as his job. Okay, now I need this. Select ename, employee number, comma, ename, comma, hire date. Select employee number, ename, comma, hire date from EMP. If I will be using only this table frequently, I am not bothered about all the other remaining columns. If I am using this regularly, it's better not to provide all the column names each and every time when I am going to work on that particular, when I need we need that particular details. Okay, in order to do that, I will be creating a view. Okay, I will be creating a view, that is create view employee underscore HR as. Okay, I am creating a view over here. This is correct only, right? Create view. Okay, why it is throwing an error here is, see here, I don't have privileges to create tables over here. I don't have privileges to create views. But if I use this Scott schema, sorry, supplier 2, I can do that. Create view. Here I need to provide fully qualified table names. Scott.emp. The hell? Insufficient privileges. Okay, let us say let us work on a table that is present in the supplier to schema only. Or else I am going to provide DBA privileges to the Scott user. Now I have provided DBA privilege to Scott user. Now let me try whether I can create this view or not. What is the error now I am getting? Create. Let me create like this. I don't know why it's throwing up an error here actually. It's giving it as insufficient privileges. Okay, a view is nothing but let us continue the session. But it's throwing up an error over here. A view is nothing but we will be creating a snapshot with providing with some particular name like emp underscore hr. Whenever the moment when we refer this, only these columns will be available in that particular view. Okay. The moment when I create a view, only these particular options will only be available in that particular view. Okay. Let us say we have table in supply to d1 underscore products. Select d1 underscore products. Okay, from this d1 underscore products, we will be using select product key, comma, generic description. Okay, from d1 underscore products. Now I am going to create view as test1 as see. I'm having some privilege problems over here previously. Now this view was created. Okay, that was just because of this database credentials. I need to restart this entire supplier. What is this SQL developer? Why? Because I have created that over here in SQL Plus. Now this particular view test1 was created. If we click on select test1, select star from test1. Now only we will be getting only that particular data. Okay, this is nothing but views in a database, right? This is clear for you, right? Okay, let us say if you want a particular view in OBIW, that is, we want to create a particular view in OBIW from a particular table. Okay, and how do we handle such requirements? Let us say we need let's do with the same scenario. This product key and generic description from d1 underscore products. I will be creating a new physical table. Okay, this physical table will be that physical table will be referring to some particular table in physical database. I am providing the with the query like select product key and general description from d1 underscore products, and I am giving it as test view. I am giving a name as test view. Okay, the moment I provide this query and click on OK, we have one thing created under all these tables that is called as test underscore view. And these whatever the views that we create in this physical layer, they are called as opaque views. In OBI, a direct view concept is available in database, but whatever the view that we create in physical layer, we call it as opaque view. Missing expression at, okay, it's throwing up an error over here. Why it is throwing up an error? Properties. d1 underscore products. Invalid character. Let me do it once again. I will be creating a table. It will be referring to select product key generated from d1 underscore products, or else we can do it from here as well. From database, that is Oracle. It's too much. We can do. Usually we'll be doing it like this only. v2 update row. See, what's wrong I have done here is I forgot to do this update row count. Now the moment I click on view data, what the hell? I don't know what's happening over here. Even data is present. See, it's showing as 192 rows last updated, but data is not visible. Let me save. SQL statement preparation failed. Missing expression at OCA call, OCA statement execution. I don't know what's happening. Sometimes you will be getting such weird errors over here in OVA. Okay, let me provide it like this. Even underscore products. Maybe it may be treating these capital and small letters as different things even. Select product key from the even underscore products. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. From okay, let me provide this thing even. Or supplier 2. I'm providing fully qualified name over here. Even that is you're getting error for that thing as well. Generally opaque views we'll be using very less in project scenarios. Why? Because the thoughts and the whatever the best practices that OBI says, the third point in OBI says avoid using opaque views, because if you are going to use opaque views are going to get created only in this particular physical layer only, and they will not be actually present in what the database level. Whenever the moment we click on a report that is going to fetch values from that particular opaque view, it's going to come this BMM layer, and from this BMM layer it needs to comes to this physical layer, and from this physical layer it needs to refer whatever the query that is present in that particular opaque view, and that query is needed to be sent to the database, and that query is needed to be filed in the database, and that tables are needed to be returned to our interface. Okay, it will be a very big procedure, but whereas if it is through a direct table or a direct alias, it's going to come here and it is going to hit direct database directly. But in an interview point of view, they will be asking you with this thing, new object, new object, connection pool, physical display folder, connection pool, physical. uh, we'll be creating it new only, but why disp? We'll be creating this select product key from d1 underscore products. Click on OK. After clicking on OK, click on save. Okay. Click on view data, or else we may need to deploy such views. Okay, I have created this view over here, right? I am going to deploy this view into database. Deploy views. Disp. Okay. After after creating this, I am going to deploy that views into database and click on OK. Okay. It's displaying message like ORCL supplied to disp view is created successfully in database now. Okay. Click on close. Okay, the moment I deploy view into the database, this symbol has been changed, right? See, previously it was like this spectacle symbol. Now it changed to that view is deployed into database. Now I think now we can view this data. Even now I was unable to view this data. I will discuss about this tomorrow. Okay. I think some if some error persists, then it won't be. But actually, in database, this might have been created. Okay. Select star from DISP. See, whatever the view that we have deployed through our opaque view, it has been deployed in the database even as I have done deployment activity. But during a deployment activity, the care we need to take is not the care. We need to have the particular right privileges to the database, because whatever the users that we are going to get, that is whatever the schema permissions we are going to get, is we will be getting only read permissions only from the DBA guys. The moment when we want to deploy a particular view in data warehouse, we need to ask temporary write privileges from DBA guys in order to do some deployment activities like deploying views and all. Okay. See, this is just an error in OBI tool only. Why? Because that particular view has been even deployed in database and it is getting displayed in database and also, but it's not getting displayed here in this physical layer. I don't know what is the problem. Sometimes tool will be acting very weird. We can't guess why it behaves that like that even. That thing is clearly available in database end, but it's not available over here. It's displaying number of row count even. Like we do have like 192 records, but it's not showing us to view data. Even that might be a problem with this particular thing. I'm getting this error. I will debug this later and I will get back to you tomorrow regarding this, only this thing. Okay. Up to this, the physical layer concept is completely complete, guys. The moment after we create aliases, we will be creating joins on that particular tables. Okay. We will be creating joins on whatever the alias tables that we have created from that particular physical tables. Okay. Tomorrow I'm going to discuss on entire BMM layer. BMM layer, it takes around 2 days, because entire business logic will be involved only in BMM layer only. Okay. Is this fine for everyone up to here now? Okay. This view part, why we are getting error, even I don't know. Uh, I'll check that and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Is this fine for everyone up to here? I'm going to wrap up here for the day. Harish?